Welcome to Concrete Block, the podcast where we dive into the latest news and current events shaping our world. I'm your host, Walter. Today, we're coming to you live as President Trump prepares to deliver his State of the Union address to Congress. This highly anticipated speech is expected to cover a range of topics, including the economy, which has been a major focus for the administration. According to recent polls, President Trump's approval ratings on economic leadership are at 39%. And this speech may be an opportunity for him to address some of the concerns and criticisms he's faced on this issue. The Supreme Court's recent ruling that some of Trump's tariffs exceeded executive powers may also be a topic of discussion. As the president takes the stage, Democrats are planning their own responses. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries has instructed his party members to either attend with silent defiance or not attend at all in an effort to avoid a repeat of last year's controversy. Some lawmakers, including Senator Chris Murphy and Representative Pramila Jayapal, have opted to attend alternative events such as the People's State of the Union on the National Mall. Following the president's speech, Governor Abigail Spanberger of Virginia will deliver the Democratic response, while Senator Alex Padilla of California will provide the Spanish-language response. Additionally, Representative Summer Lee of Pennsylvania will give the Working Families Party's response, offering a progressive perspective on the State of the Union. If you're interested in watching the State of the Union address live, it will be broadcast on major networks, including NBC, CBS, and ABC, as well as cable networks like C-SPAN. You can also stream it for free on PBS News' YouTube channel or through live TV streaming services like Hulu Plus Live TV and YouTube TV. We'll be keeping a close eye on the developments surrounding the State of the Union address and bringing you updates throughout the day. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Concrete Block. Welcome back to Concrete Block. We're diving into a complex and developing story that's been unfolding over the past 4 years. The conflict between Russia and Ukraine has taken a devastating toll on both countries, with widespread destruction and loss of life. As we mark the 4th anniversary of Russia's invasion, diplomats from around the world are gathering to condemn Russian aggression and call for a lasting peace. Reports have emerged of African men being lured into fighting for Russia and Ukraine, with promises of jobs and other incentives. The South African government has confirmed that 17 of its citizens were among those recruited, with 11 set to return home soon. This development has raised concerns about the recruitment of foreign fighters and the role of private military companies in the conflict. Meanwhile, the international community is divided on how to respond to the crisis. Some countries, like Norway, have spoken out strongly against Russian actions, while others are taking a more nuanced approach. The United Nations has planned a motion expressing concern about Russia's invasion and calling for an unconditional ceasefire and a lasting peace. As the situation continues to unfold, it's essential to consider the perspectives of all parties involved. We must strive to understand the complexities of this conflict and the motivations of those engaged in it. By doing so, we can work towards a more informed and balanced discussion, one that acknowledges the humanity and dignity of all individuals affected by this crisis. The path forward will undoubtedly be challenging, but it's crucial that we prioritize diplomacy and dialogue in our pursuit of peace. As we navigate this complex landscape, we must remain committed to the principles of justice, equality, and human rights. Welcome back to Concrete Block. As we wrap up today's show, let's take a look at some developments in the European Union and its relationships with other countries. The EU has been facing criticism for its handling of human rights issues, particularly when it comes to its visa-free travel policies. Despite new rules that allow the Brussels executive to stop granting free travel passes to countries that violate human rights and international law, the European Commission has no intention of stripping Israel of visa-free access to Europe. This decision comes amidst concerns over Israel's treatment of Palestinians in the occupied Gaza and West Bank, with dozens of progressive and left-leaning MEPs demanding that the Commission take action. They point to Israel's military operations, annexations of Palestinian land, and expansion of illegal settlements as evidence that the country is violating fundamental freedoms and human rights law. However, European Commissioner Magnus Brunner has stated that there are no migratory or security risks coming from Israel, and that there's no appetite to single out visa-free partners. The Commission has also tempered its language on Israel's actions, describing annexation plans as a step in the wrong direction, rather than explicitly condemning them as illegal. It's a complex issue, with different perspectives and opinions on how the EU should handle its relationships with countries that have questionable human rights records. As always, we strive to provide a balanced view of the situation, acknowledging the concerns of all parties involved. The EU's visa policy is an important tool for managing migration and ensuring security, but it's also a diplomatic lever that can be used to influence the behavior of other countries. As the EU continues to navigate its relationships with countries like Israel, it will be important to watch how this policy evolves and how it is used to promote human rights and international law. That's all for today's Concrete Block. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay informed.